Why did you open this shop, All Things Food?
Well, in 2006, I became really ill, and I realized that I had to change what I was doing to get better, because what the doctor had planned for me wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. It was a path of medications and surgery and things like that, and I just felt like, gosh, there's got to be another way. So when I started on my path to find another way, I found a doctor out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, Dr. Amy Dean, ecological internal medicine. She's a wonderful guide for healing of the body. And through her help and guidance, I learned about organic food and really what food's all about and how it nourishes the body. And this simple, basic truth that I discovered, if you can reduce the toxins and increase the nutrients, your body's health will be restored. And it is really that simple, but trying to find out what the toxins are and which nutrients are going to be most specific to heal the damages that we've caused is the hardest part. And that's why I highly recommend finding people to guide you along the way. People that truly understand food and nutrition and health and can help you get to answers that can help you move forward. And as you find the answers, it's like peeling an onion. You remove one layer and it exposes a whole new level of, wow, I didn't know that was wrong. So,
But you didn't get sick and then open the store. You had your journey, right?
I did. I was on my way back one day from Ann Arbor, Michigan, where I was shopping with all my groceries, getting all my organic foods, just on cloud nine that I had all these wonderful resources in Ann Arbor. But I was listening to a book because when I was in Ann Arbor one time, I noticed on the shelf there was organic blueberries, and sitting next to it was conventional grown Michigan blueberries. And I was trying to understand why a store like Whole Foods would sit next to this organic blueberry, knowing that there's so many toxic pesticide residuals and chemicals used in growing and producing blueberries if they're not grown organically. Why would they put this conventional blueberry next to the organic ones? And that's how I found out about this book called Animal Vegetable Miracle. And listening to the book on CD on my way from Ann Arbor, I literally pulled the car over. The amount of oil that we're consuming in our food and the distance that our food travels to get to our plate, it was just overwhelming. I was just so moved by the statistic. It was 1,500 miles is the distance. And if we would just eat the equivalent of one local food meal a week, we could reduce our oil consumption by 8.5 billion barrels. I just tried to imagine what 8.5 billion barrels of fuel look like and just thought, just one meal? Let's just do it 1 week, and we've got another 10-year supply, you know what I mean? So then I began my journey, because local foods in Northwest Ohio, what does that mean? Well, we're the GMO capital of the USA, So I'm like, we can't eat that stuff. It's not good for us. And meeting other farmers, I began to hear some of their challenges, and trying to run their small business and maintain a lifestyle that is sustainable and something that they can, support themselves on and make a living with. And in those conversations, I realized that as a consumer, I had a lot of power and that I could do something about it. And that's how I opened All Things Food. So
where are you headed with it? This feels like a launching pad for you.
The main goal, why am I here? Why am I even talking to you? Yeah, what am I trying to do? Is to create, the point is to create greater access to nutrient-dense foods. And that means local. That means as close to our plate as possible. It doesn't matter what healthcare professional you're talking to, what food coach you're talking to, what raw food chef, what chef that understands fresh ingredients. Every single one of them will bring you back to as close as we can get it to this dinner plate. The better it's going to taste.
And the least amount of toxins.
That's right. Right. And again, defining what local is, yes, because especially in our Northwest Ohio region. And that also brings up an important fact, and that is we should never look at the farmer as the cause of the problem. nor the problem. Because it's very unfortunate that we put the farmer in the position we have as consumers. We need to turn the finger right back at ourselves. We're the ones that want cheap food.
We want cheap food. We want the exotic food.
That's right. We're the ones that drive the market. And in that same concept of we caused the problem, we can fix it in health.
You know what I love about your approach? I love a good approach to moving forward is you don't label yourself anything other than food. You haven't described or defined yourself as an organic supplier. You are a food supplier.
That's right.
You don't, you're not a co-op. You're not a health food store.
I like to say I'm a healthy foods grocery store.
Yeah, you're a food store. You're a grocer. You're a supplier. And like, for me, that puts you in the category of what Lisa and I would call cultural creatives. The people that are in the community, in the neighborhoods, just doing what they do, not really trying to convince anyone, just putting it out there, just gonna put some food, gonna put some good food in the community.
That's right. I tell people all the time, just come on in. Don't be scared. Don't be alarmed. We'll take you by the hand and walk you through the whole process. I do have a little secret to disclose. I have ulterior motives.
Do tell.
Because by creating greater access, not only do I have greater access, but I have a healthier community that can do more for me.
Right.
I can't do it all. I cannot do it all. And
so what kind of help do you need?
Lots of help. I need buyers. I need consumers. I need people that are eager, ready, and willing to learn how to use real food. Real food means it's time sensitive. It needs to be consumed within short windows of time. And it needs to be consumed regularly and often in predictable ways that farmers can become more stable with those purchases. Getting the food into institutions. As consumers, we can say to restaurant owners, gee, I would love to see on your menu some fresher ingredients, asking at the grocery store, why do you carry all of this processed food? Why can't you carry something else that might have an organic option or twist? Farmers market, join your CSA. Have you heard of a CSA? This is real critical. And then, of course, shop at All Things Food. But if you live in Toledo, that might be a little challenging. But
it's a nice drive if you don't pass the exit. It's still a nice drive if you do. It just takes a half hour longer.
But
and Mo, All Things Food is really considered a resource for All Things Food, as opposed to a place to just buy the food or just come and have a great lunch.
Right.
You're the hub for All Things Food. You're looking for ways to be supporting who produces it, supporting how it gets distributed, really changing the way I see it, really changing the way we see bringing what's good for us into our homes. Like across the board, literature to educate yourself can be bought here. The tools that you need to prepare it in the kitchen can be bought here.
Right.
The groceries to cook, the recipes, if you don't know that, like what, is there anything you've left off?
Well, like I said before, I can't do it all myself. I open the store with the understanding that if I build it, they will come. And not just customers to purchase the food, but we need people that are waking up and becoming more passionate and more aware. If you think of our grocery store in departments, I need experts on dairy, I need experts on produce, I need experts on grains, I need experts on seeds and nuts and all the different aspects of the foods that we eat. And this new marketplace that we're creating, I need ownership of that. I need people to come in and say, okay, this is my square footage and I'm going to be the expert on this product and I'm going to sell it to this community because I have these other supporting vendors that all fit within that same vision and that same purpose of real food, of food that is nutrient dense and grown as close to our plate as possible. And with that community, of ownership and vendors, I believe we will then take that example and just duplicate it from here to Toledo.
Mo, are you making inroads into institutions?
I am. We have our area hospital. Bryan Hospital is their community hospitals of Williams County, I believe is what they're called, but or community hospitals and wellness centers. And we're really blessed. They're just 2 blocks from us here, and they are doing a lot to look at the wellness of people, not just trying to treat the disease and the sickness once it occurs, but actually that prevention process. And in that journey, they have come to me and said, how can we get local foods and nutrient-dense foods on our menu each week? And I'm working with the kitchen staff there. Angie Pellin is the catering and kitchen manager there. She is going to be part of our Farm to Table dinner coming up September 19th and working with the chef at Father John's Brewery, Maggie King. So with the hospital's desire to get this nutrient-dense foods, they're working with our software tool and with me to get that produce into their kitchen.
That's amazing.
It
That's
is.
amazing.
You are rocking all things food.
I'll tell you, you guys, these are the buyers we need to make our local farmers more sustainable.
So September 19th, Mo Tressler, All Things Food and Company,
Yes.
are coming to Lake Pokagon to prepare and serve a farm-to-table event for Reinvention Uncensored, and you'll be hanging out if anyone wants to chat.
Absolutely. I love to talk about food. Just prior to that, in July, on July 20th, we're going to do a meet and greet, 3-hour open house here at the store. We invite everyone to come out between 2 and 5 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. Maggie King will be here, the chef of Father John's, and Angie Pellin, the kitchen manager at the hospital, to talk to you about what they're going to be preparing. And most importantly, we're going to meet the amazing people that are growing the food for the event. Kristen Bauer will hopefully be there, and all the farmers that I can get there that will be preparing the food. And you won't want to miss the open house either, because that is really the energy behind the food.
And when is it again?
It is going to be on Sunday, July 20th from 2 to 5 p.m.
At All Things Food.
Right here at All Things Food
in Bryan, Ohio.
in Bryan, Ohio.
Thank you, Mo Tressler.
You're welcome.
See you July 20th.
Yes.